Welcome to Royal Secrets. Fury breaks out at the firm's rare error of ignoring Prince Harry. According to a royal expert, the public will view the decision not to permit Prince Harry to wear a military uniform at the funeral for his grandmother as unnecessary. The firm has dealt Prince Harry an unnecessary snub by telling the grieving prince that he cannot wear his uniform to his grandmother's funeral. Harry used to be a major in the British Army, so he could have worn the uniform with the king's approval. However, the Queen removed his military titles after he retired from senior royal duties in 2020. Harry will have to dress in all black instead, with his family surrounding him in uniform. Despite his associations with Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted sex offender, Prince Andrew, Harry's uncle, has been given permission to attend the funeral wearing a military uniform. This action by Buckingham Palace has been called petty and a rare blunder by royal authority Camilla Tominey. She stated in a piece for The Telegraph that it was somewhat petty to deny Harry the ability to wear military attire while allowing the disgraced Duke of York to attend the final vigil at Westminster Hall while dressed in his Royal Navy uniform. Since Andrew is the late Queen's son, it appears the palace is abiding by the rules for non-working royals by granting him a temporary waiver. However, the public may consider the decision as an unwarranted snub, regardless of the thinking behind it. Biographer of Meghan Markle was visibly embarrassed after a series of errors sparked a barrage of criticisms. Ahmed Scobie, the biographer of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, was obliged to acknowledge that his statement to a US television channel that the Queen's coffin will travel from Scotland across to the UK was incorrect. The biographer of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry has come under fire for remarks he made while covering the passing of the Queen that Scotland is not a part of the United Kingdom. When he stated that the Queen's coffin would depart from Edinburgh on one of the royal trains over to the UK, Ahmed Scobie, the co-author of Finding Freedom, claimed it was a slip of the tongue. In reality, there is only one royal train, and the departed monarch's casket will fly from Edinburgh Airport to RAF Northolt in Scotland to London on a military aircraft. The Queen's coffin will end up laying at rest at the smallest palace in Edinburgh before it makes its journey on one of the royal trains over to the UK, said to Mr. Scobie, speaking on ABC News. After the Daily Mail's Richard Eden tweeted, "Dear Number Ahmed Scobie, Number Scotland is part of the UK, there is only one Number royal train, and it won't be used to bring Number the Queen's coffin to London." In response to his remarks, there was a backlash to Scobie's remarks. After admitting his mistake, the royal expert explained that his remarks were a slip of the tongue and made in the frenzy of breaking news after the 96-year passing olds was confirmed. Many individuals have placed flowers and messages in the grounds of the royal parks in London. This evening, when it is flown to London and subsequently driven to Buckingham Palace, the Queen's casket will depart Scotland for the first time since her passing. Before being transported to lie in state at Westminster Hall starting on Wednesday, it will spend the night in the Ballroom at Buckingham Palace. It will be transported on a gun carriage on Wednesday as part of a large military procession to Westminster Hall, where it will lie in state until September 19. The casket will be covered by the royal standard flag with the sovereign's orb and scepter perched on top, and people will be able to walk past it up until the morning of the funeral. A thorough rehearsal for the procession of her coffin to be brought to Westminster Hall is currently going place in the capital as part of the last preparations for celebrations in London. For the practice run, thousands of soldiers dressed in ceremonial uniform assembled at Buckingham Palace early on Tuesday. The King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery's horse-drawn carriage was led down the road during the early morning practice. The gun carriage was loaded with a black coffin, and at around 4 in the morning, the procession was given the go-ahead to move. The gun carriage was drawn by 7 black horses as it traveled through Queen's Gardens, the Mall, Whitehall, Parliament Street, Parliament Square, and New Palace Yard. For the extensive operation, many of the streets in central London were blocked off.